10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 2023 New Year's edition of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to...
Wouldn't it be the 2024 edition?
No, 2023, because this
God.
is the end of the
No,
year.
it is 2024. He's right.
No,
You're
but-
really going to talk? It's the 2023 New
End
Year's.
of the year, not 20.
No, if we're talking about the new year, it would be
so it's 2024, yeah.
This comes out New
But
Year's.
it comes out New Year's weekend, not New Year's Day.
Yeah.
What did you say?
So this is our
What
last
What are we
episode of
questioning?
2023.
What's in question?
I don't know. You guys interrupted
He said
a
this
great
is our
intro.
2023 New Year's.
So that
but
wouldn't
that
be
wouldn't be correct.
Correct. It would be 2023, last of the year.
Yeah, that would be correct.
Pablo, this is
our
normally
last
not like that.
episode of 2023. Can this
You're
stay?
gonna keep it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
So
now.
over all you
keep
guys.
It, keep it.
Okay, go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our end of the year last episode of 2023. I hope everybody's okay with that edition of Two Fat Guys Talking Flowers, where we're always going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly about flowers. Today's awesome, amazing, kick-ass, one-of-a-kind guest is none other than Pablo Bazzani, General Manager, leader of the Perfection brand at La Plazoleta Flowers.
Woo! Pablo! Bienvenido.
You also
Thank
left
you.
out award-winning.
Award-winning La Plazoleta
Award-winning, ribbon-winning. I would like to see your ribbon wall. It must be
Farms. Hold on.
monstrous.
I think we're getting. Are we getting a view?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Young International Grower of the Year in the APH.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Man, you
Thank
have
you,
been
man.
on a tangent this year, though. You got awards everywhere.
That's right. It was an amazing year for the organization, for me personally, of course, and for the family as well. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So let's get it started.
So Pablo, we have to go all the way back. I know you won a lot of awards and we want to get to those, but we want to know where you started. We know you're a second generation flower man, but where did you start? How did you get into flowers and everything that led you to where you are now?
Okay, Fern, at the beginning, I had nothing to do with flowers. Of course, my family started this business almost 40 years ago, and
Wow.
I was raised with flowers. La Plazoleta used to be one of the main gypsophilia growers in Colombia back then, and that was the main smell that I remember in my life. You know what I mean?
That Clorox
It's a very-
kind of smell.
Very fragrant.
Absolutely.
To me, it smells
absolutely.
like Clorox.
Yeah. It's kind of very characteristic smell. So then my family realized, or my father realized, that the gypsophilia business was kind of difficult because Ecuador realized that they had better chances to grow gypsophilia outdoors, while here in Colombia we got to do it indoors. So we started looking for new products, but back then I was not related with the business at all. Actually, I started studying visual arts here in Colombia. Then I moved to New York to study marketing. And at that time, I realized that I really want to be part of this project, of this family project, this family business.
So
because
wait,
my
what
brother
year?
and my
What
sister-
year? What year was that? What year were you in New York? and-
2007?
It was like
12.
it was
2000?
like 7 years ago. But at the before that, I was collaborating with Perfection, helping them with some marketing stuff. Actually, I met Mimi back then.
Yeah.
But nothing. Yeah.
Fun fact is the first time I went to Colombia was because Camilo had spoken about, doing some marketing and help.
Who's Camilo, for those that don't know?
Oh, Camilo is my uncle. He became the manager of Plazoleta
Yes.
12 years ago.
Yeah, so my first visit to Colombia was to actually help the Perfection brand with some of their marketing, and I was super excited, blown away, because even in the very, very beginning, there was already a strong brand. It was very, very beautiful. The packaging was already determined, but Pablo had just started coming on board. And as soon as that happened, that transition, Pablo took it to another level.
Plazoletta has been a known brand my whole career.
It's gorgeous, gorgeous product.
I mean, 40 years. I mean, I was
It's
a
a
baby.
worldwide known brand, for sure.
Absolutely. It's that was something very challenging for me because when I got to Plazoleta from the very beginning, the brand was very strong already, and my family decided to split the company from the old partners, but we kept the brand. You know, they kept some land, but we kept the brand. And that was the main challenge that I faced in Plazoleta, how to keep this brand going on, how to relaunch the brand. So that was the first challenge and was the first task that I had here in Plazoleta.
And you had so many big goals, and I think that the problem was that the industry wasn't ready for all the ideas you had, right? Like that's how I saw it. And then as soon as Pablo came in, like everything started changing, and you could see it visually and everything, that their whole marketing structure. So it was super exciting and fun to watch.
Absolutely. And that's something that is very valuable from our industry in general, because I've been getting to know so many growers around the globe, and it's very interesting how in Colombia and in Ecuador farms are in charge of everything, you know, in marketing and production, packaging, a lot of things. You know, in Europe you get to know the growers and they are focused on growing stuff, but here in Colombia we need to do everything by ourselves if we want to get the business done in the right way.
That's because the growers in Colombia and Ecuador, for the most part, are exporting themselves, versus in, let's say, in the Netherlands, most of the growers are selling either through the clock or they're selling to export companies who are buying and selling and exporting the flowers for them. So they don't have to bother with that stuff. They let the other guys do it. Yeah.
That's right.
You know, you don't realize that that's a very important job for any brand, and it's left for us, at least for our side in the world, it's left for the farm to do that, to build that brand and bring that to market, and then everyone else runs with it, right? You take a great brand and you run with it. It's interesting.
I think that most of the grower community, until like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, didn't really recognize that branding was important. I don't think they really pushed that hard enough until
I think it was very common to see a logo on a sleeve.
Yeah.
But it meant nothing. I mean, honestly, one of the, and I'm not saying this because Pablo's here, but one of the ones that I noticed the most was that silver, you know, Plazoleta, like the perfection
those
brand.
sleeves
Those
stand
sleeves
out.
stand out. The boxing, the way that they focused on packaging. I mean, other people were doing it too, but it's just the elegance, right? Like, and that's the difference. You kind of want to feel the brand when you're opening the box. You feel open a Jet Fresh box. You feel fun. You see the colors. It's bright. I mean, you really focus on everything like that.
Yeah, but I think Plazoletta as a brand, as a company, has always gone to the higher end. They've never been like a discounter or a, you know, I don't know. Do you sell to a lot of supermarkets and stuff, Pablo? Or is that?
No, not that much. It's not our main focus.
Yeah.
We're still in the wholesalers gap mainly. So yeah, what you're saying, Mimi, it's really important for us right now, and it's getting more and more important, not only for us, for the industry in general, especially for mid-sized companies like us. Because, for example, for perfection, more than a brand is a patented method that we developed 17 years ago. But now the brand is more important than the patent. You know, is getting more important because we cannot sue and have legal process with all the people out there that want to use the same method, but they can't use the brand. That's something that they cannot do. So that's our real advantage. Of course, we have the legal support of this, but the brand is something that, you know, is the base of perfection right now.
Love that. So Pablo, you got yourself a master's degree in marketing while you were in New York. And
What college was that from?
And New York University.
very
And what
nice.
you?
Look at that.
Damn.
That's the one that's in Manhattan, no?
It is.
It is.
Damn. Love
Now
that.
they have all around in Brooklyn. They have buildings, but yeah, it was in Manhattan.
Congratulations. And then you started helping the company with marketing first. And then what made the change that you said, all right, I'm not going to just stick to marketing. I want to market flowers and I want to go with the brand. What changed?
Of course, the company was getting older. My father decided to make a step away from the company, trying to be involved, but he wanted to take a different life. And my brother and my sister, they had nothing to do with flowers. My brother lives in the United States, and my sister is a lawyer. So I was the only one that was
Is she a
willing
lawyer in
to-
the United States or is she a lawyer in Colombia?
No, my sister is here in Colombia. Here in Colombia.
Good to know.
So that was a
Everyone needs a relative in the legal business. That's good.
yeah, absolutely. My father actually is also a lawyer, and he stopped doing that like 15 years ago, but he was working with flowers and with laws all the time from the very
Oh,
beginning.
that's impressive. Hardworking man.
Yeah, absolutely. So I said like, okay, this is my chance. I need to give an important input for the company. I start learning. I started actually working in the post-harvest, developing all the dye and painting process for our flowers. We do a lot of that stuff, mainly for the fillers. So I saw like a big opportunity there, and developing all these painting process for our flowers. I found that the sales area was very interesting to me because I had the chance to travel, to know the globe, to talk to the customers, to understand the other side of the game, and that was like mind blowing for me. So
It makes a
at
big
that
difference when you're out there and on the road and you're visiting different countries and different customers and how they do things. It makes you get all your juices flowing when you come back with new ideas and new
absolutely
programs to put together for people.
And that's the main how can I say that, like, that's the main advantage that I can give to the company right now as a leader, as a manager, because my uncle or my father, they knew better about production stuff, administration stuff. That's not my strength. My strength is the marketing, the sales, knowing better the customers, talking to my customers directly, and that's my right input. So I need to have a really good team behind me, supporting me on those matters like production, which is really important. Fortunately, we have a very professional and engaged team in the post-harvest, in the human resources stuff. That's really important. So fortunately, I got a really strong team, and my main input right now to the company is in the sales area.
So, Pablo, tell us about the farm itself. What do you have there? How big is it? What kind of products do you have there? How many employees you have? Stuff like that. Let's.
Absolutely. Plazoleta started with 20 hectares of gypsophilia at the very beginning. And when we lost the gypsophilia business because of this geographical condition here in Colombia, we started looking for different products. Like we went through hundreds and hundreds of products, but our main strength is filler flowers. So currently we have 40 hectares here in the west of Bogota, Colombia, grown mainly 50% in Alstroemerias. Then we have 25% in limoniums, several families and lines of limoniums. Then we have like 20% of statice in several colors. Actually, we got the the biggest award in Proflora this year with a new Tessa lavender status. Very, very nice.
Congratulations.
And then we have the Snapdragons. The Snapdragons, we already have 3 hectares in full production, steady production all year round. And we also have the Snapdragons within the perfection plan. So we have mainly 2 kind of qualities, 2 standards, the perfections and the select. And in most of our products, that's what we do. We have like a very top-notch, high-end grade and a standard one, which is, I would say, a little bit above the average in the market, in terms of specs and quality. So we're focused on that. We don't focus on regular grades to take care of the supermarkets, to take care of the bouquet makers. That's not our goal.
You're retail focused, retail florist focused,
Absolutely.
quality level.
And currently we have 650 people working here.
Oh my God.
650.
Good Lord, sweet baby Jesus.
God.
That's a big challenge and a big commitment.
That puts a capital R on the word responsibility.
Wow.
650. That's a great. But you're all in one location. You're not spread all over different locations. Or you have only
actually,
you have one main post harvest.
We would love to have just one farm, but unfortunately, we have our production split in 4 farms, 2 post harvest and 4 farms. I would call them like productive areas.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them are like a whole farm, like the main one, but yeah, it's 4 different problems, 4 different solutions.
Yeah.
Are they
4 different phone calls in the middle of the night?
Are they relatively
Absolutely.
close?
They are, they're within half-hour driving.
Half-hour driving Colombia traffic? Driving or?
No, that's not
this
city
is country.
traffic.
This
This
is country.
area
driving.
is
Yeah.
not that bad.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
getting to them from the city and getting back to the city. That's the problem.
I only visited the main one. Yeah.
Yeah. That one is called Hacienda. That one has 15 hectares. And the others are not too far from here, but the main post harvest is right here. So we collect all the product from those farms and from the other post harvest, but all the trucks to the airport, they depart from La Hacienda, from the main farm.
Yeah, that makes sense. So tell me about tell us about more about what's the difference between Alstroemeria and Perfection Alstroemeria. What's the difference between Snapdragon and Perfection Snapdragon? I think the slogan is like 1 of a million or something like that. But so and not anyone can just grow Perfection. You need to qualify, you need to be a member of the group and all that. So can you talk a little bit more about that? Because like here at Jet Fresh, we don't really sell Alstroemeria, but we sell Perfection Alstroemeria. We don't really sell Colombian Snapdragon, but we sell Perfection Snapdragon. Like, I don't even want to bother with that other stuff. I only want to have the Perfection here. But go ahead and please explain that difference, because I think it's really important for people to understand that.
Sure, Mike. Let's start from the very beginning. It was like 17 years ago. Colombia was in a very difficult situation with the exchange rate, Colombian pesos against the dollar. So we only had one option, that was or selling more expensive or reducing the cost. And Alstroemeria back then was known in the United States mainly like a cheap product, like a 1 filler more. And we were traveling to Canada, and we realized Canadian Alstroemeria was sold in a very good prices in the market, while Colombian Alstroemeria prices didn't reach anything interesting for the farms. So we said like, okay, well, how Canadians can do that, and why Colombian Alstroemeria is not very attractive for the market. And we realized that they let the flowers open more in the field to get more mature, to get brighter colors, stronger stems, longer base life, like a baby. If you get a baby in the, I don't know, 7 months, is different that if you reach 9 months, it's gonna be stronger. And it's the same with the flowers,
They cry a lot louder.
Absolutely. So, but the main challenge that was that Canadians, they put the flowers on buckets with water, they put it right in the trucks, and they travel the flowers straight to the markets. While here in Colombia, we need to put it in a box and just expect the best from the third party, which is the airline or someone else, So that was the main challenge, the packaging. So we developed a whole method that starts in the crop by choosing the right varieties and letting the Alstroemerias get more mature, and then put them in boxes in the right way. So in perfection Alstroemeria, you find each stem is covered with a very special net, which is a very important part of the process. It's not any net, because if the net is too rough, it can trace the petals. So the net has to be really, really
Soft.
smooth, soft.
Yeah.
So
And
we develop
that net protects the foliage as well. I mean, that's a
the foliage.
long net.
That's right.
Yeah.
The net is around 60 centimeters, while the flowers is 85.
So
that's
it's not just flower focus; it's also focused on the foliage, the whole package of that
the whole
stem.
experience
Yeah.
of getting and
Yeah.
opening that box.
Wait,
that-
Pablo. Yeah, sorry. For all of our florists and designers that are listening, how do you remove the net? Do you go up or do you go down? What's the proper way to remove it?
The proper way is to take it from the bottom
From
of
the
the
bottom.
net
Yes.
and pull it to the top. Not just pull it from the top, pull it from the
The
bottom.
bottom up. Mm-hmm.
So
That
it
way,
basically
it
unrolls
rolls
itself. It
It
unrolls.
rolls up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's the best way
Joel
possible.
says like a condom.
Yeah, like a color. You get it from the back.
Exactly. You get it.
Okay.
Good Joel
but
with
which-
a chuckle
What is funny
today.
here? What is funny here
I
is
like
that
it.
we developed this brand and this method, thinking that U.S. market was the right one for this kind of product. We were thinking about florists, about event planners, and that channel, but Russian market was the one that really made this starting input for the brand. They really found the difference, and they really start liking this brand and this product. So United States slowly has become important market for the brand, but it used to be mainly like 80% Russia.
So do you find that Russian or European buyers are more focused on the quality rather than the price? Because in the U.S., I find it's more focused on the price than the quality in a lot of places.
United States is a very big market, so you find everything. You know what I mean? Now it's changing, I think, but it used to be like you said. European market was more likely to pay higher prices for getting better quality. But now in United States, there are also some markets that they perceive the value of these kind of flowers.
But it's evolving. It's a changing thing here in the U.S.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But still, Europe is stronger. For example, Spanish in Spain, it used to be a very cheap market, but now is one of the main markets for perfection, because they found they get better profits because they don't have to be concerned with the quality of the flowers. They just receive boxes and they sell boxes. They don't have to open boxes because with perfection they are confident that everything is okay.
Yeah.
So they don't have to deal with claims, they don't have to deal with that stuff. So they understood they can have better business with these type of flowers.
And then, so once you started Perfection, how did you invite other farms to become members of the Perfection brand?
So we made the initial trials here in La Plazoleta, of course, with all the packaging, with our customers, trying to understand if it could be interesting for the market. Then we developed the brand, and when we developed the brand and we understood that it was a winner project for the type of flower, we went out to meet the best Alstroemeria growers in Colombia. So then we agree with Flores La Conchita, with Grupo Andes, Suazuke, and another farm called Regal that is not anymore here in the landscape here in Colombia. We invite them to be part of the brand. And at the beginning it was not easy because they were used to sell Alstroemeria at, I don't know, 17 cents, and we told them with this brand you will sell it at 30 or 32 or whatever. They said, okay, that's not possible. Especially the sales teams were not very convinced about that. But with the time and with the proof of Plazoleta doing it right, they start joining the team. And now, of course, they are convinced that the Alstroemeria business is interesting if you have perfection within your offer. If you're not, it's just another product more that maybe sometimes you lose, sometimes you get some cents.
So what products are available in Perfection brand?
We have tried to do it with roses, carnations, chrysanthemums, but nothing special. Of course, Alstroemeria is the queen. And behind Alstroemeria, Plazoleta is offering Snapdragons and Statis. Because putting the brand in every product is not the right way to do it, because you need to show up a real difference in terms of quality. But not all the products you can get that, For example, in roses, you get very high quality in many farms and sources. So only by putting the brand is not that's not the deal. The deal is the method that you can get a very upscale flower, and it's not easy to get that in all the flowers.
That's refreshing to hear. Brands are usually the opposite. You throw a brand name on it and you can sell whatever you want because the brand name's on it. So
he's been picky enough to choose only flowers where you can distinguish a difference, and show and share a difference, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, we are one of the biggest limonium growers actually in South America, and we haven't found a way to put the brand in the limoniums because we cannot keep the consistency, we cannot make it different. So we just limonium, we offer it only in select grade and fancy grade, but not under the brand.
But what about the new fashionista Alstroemeria?
Fashionista.
Is that available in Perfection yet?
It is. Actually, fashionista is a very tricky type of Alstroemeria. It's very, very new. It's a monotype, double petal,
I love that
bloom.
one. I love it.
It's beautiful, but the production is very, very tricky. So we only have two quality specs on the fashionista, the perfection and the select. You don't even get fancy or lower grades because the flower doesn't get the right shape. So that's a challenge that we have. Fashionista Imperfection, we pack it by 5 stems only because the heads are very big, so they can get damaged in the box if you pack it by 10. So we pack it by 5, and it comes with the same specs of in terms of packaging than the Alstroemeria Perfection.
And it has a very unique shape. It's really special. It's really. Here's a
That's
picture.
the one.
That one's more of a flower than a filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
flower for sure.
It's like a focal.
Yeah. And we hope to come up with more colors any soon. Get
Yeah.
a
Are
fashionista white,
you working
fashionista
with
red.
the breeders on that?
We're working with Hilberda Coy, which is the breeder of this type of Alstroemeria. We're working very closely because, of course, it's a big challenge because it is similar to Alstroemeria, but at the same time is very different.
Very
you have
different.
to handle the field in a very different way. The post harvest is different. The packaging is different. So it's
The
a whole new
opening
world. And
shape
it's a
is
very
way different,
expensive
too.
learning curve.
You know, it's almost unfair to the growers sometimes. They have to focus their packaging to handle most of the times, two separate, different modes of transportation. First, it's got to fly out of Colombia into the US or across the globe, and then from there, it's got to go to a wholesaler, to an importer, and there's a whole other mode of transportation. You come into Miami one way, then you got to go out of Miami another way, and they have to get their sensitive, beautiful, giant, amazing flowers to be able to ship well in all those different modes of transportation that the flowers go on. I mean, that's
Even
really
with
crazy.
that said, I don't remember a time where we had a claim on Plazoletta.
I can't
flowers.
ever, not once.
I don't remember a
not
time.
once.
Thank God.
No, but that's
Yeah.
kudos
Thank
to
God.
you because
That's
there's
a
a
big deal.
lot of different people handling and touching that box that don't care about it the way you do.
That's right. And that's the main challenge talking about the Snapdragons, because Snapdragons is a very tricky flower for transportation, and transporting our snaps to the United States to arrive in good conditions, competing with local snaps or snaps from Mexico, from Canada that are transported by truck is a big challenge. So we had to develop a special box, and it's on the go. We're still working how we can assure that the arrival conditions are the best.
Do you do market research, like how it ends up in the hands of the designers? Like, how do you know what it looks like? Do you reach out to them to see what it looks like when it finally
Yes, and most of the times it arrives well, but we want to reach the right consistency to be sure that it's always arriving in the conditions that we want. And that's something very tricky with the snaps, that sometimes you're not sure. And that's a challenge for us, because for United States, it works very well, because in Miami, they know how to do things, but in other markets, it's not like that. So we it's very difficult for us to export our snaps to other markets.
And what makes the difference between a perfection and a select in a Snapdragon?
It's about the length, about the thickness of the stem, and about the spike. The spike, it's open flower spike, and it must have a 20 centimeter plus. While the select is tighter, is mainly for bouquets or for not too specialized user. So the flower is not that open. So that's the main difference.
That was a great choice of words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Non-specialized user.
Do you guys know who came up with or who started Select and Fancy Grade? Like, how long has that been around?
So I know the answer.
The name? Okay, tell us.
So when flowers were produced here locally in the United States, they had standard, they had fancy, they had select, they had super select, they had extra, they had special, they had these grades.
Who's they?
The growers.
Okay, and this was
The
all
growers.
universal at one point, or did
But
somebody
mostly,
kind of?
Mostly rose growers, I would say. And they didn't grade in centimeters, they graded in inches. So, a standard would be like a 14 to 22 inch. And, it would just keep continuing up. And each size had a different sticker.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be easy for you as a wholesaler to grab and know what grade you have because of the color of the sticker.
Right.
So I remember visiting greenhouses that were roses produced here in the United States back in the 80s and the 90s, they would have like this broomstick with the rolls of labels hanging above the packing station, and the packer would roll it in cellophane paper and then use that color sticker that would say special or fancy or extra, whatever. And then you look at Esmeralda, for example, like back when he started growing, he used those grading standards, and I think they still use them to today.
They have extra special.
They still use those to today. They still don't tell you centimeters. They tell
correct,
you inches, which was a play.
I have to yell at Howard. Howard, just fucking talk to me in centimeters.
Yeah,
I don't understand
difficult.
inches.
It's difficult conversion, but that's like, I think he's the only one that still uses that old standard, or they, not he. They are the ones that still use that old standard. But that's where it came from. And then when they started bringing farming of flowers to South America, I think a lot of that got eliminated, and they started going to centimeters because I think that's the standard in South America, and not inches. The metric system is what they use. So that's where it comes from.
Yeah, you're right. That's a more American thing, because in Europe, it's more about weight in all the flowers. They are always focusing on grams, and they are trying hard for the farms to sell the flowers by weight, which is very difficult. So we stick to the American standard.
Well, like when I buy tulips, I want to know if the price is like it's a good deal or something. I want to know how many grams those tulips are, because if they're a 30-gram tulip, I probably don't want it. I like to buy tulips in the 40s. And 30-gram tulip, it's a little skinny little thing, And so sometimes knowing the weight when you're buying, it's important because it makes a dramatic difference. Well, so not only price, some flowers shouldn't only be bought by price. You want to know what the average weight is. Like the Canadian stuff we buy, the average is in the 40s, always.
Nice. I didn't even think of that. You know what? We gotta. Everyone's so used to how they're used to grading, you forget that this is a worldwide system. You got to grade in the way they used to.
Definitely. I have bought in the past perfection roses and stuff, but they weren't available on consistent basis. So I think that's why they don't really.
Could we make our own grades? Or is it that like kind of?
What would you make?
I'm just curious. Like, is it, because it doesn't seem like there's not like a, like it does seem like everybody's on the same page, but at the same time, it kind of feels subjective.
Can we bring back
we do have our own grading system
roses?
here at Jeff.
Big ass.
We
and
have
long
big ass, long ass.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Fat ass.
Big
You're right.
AF.
You're right. Okay.
We have our own grading system.
Can
here.
we bring let's bring back perfection roses?
No, because Pablo's sister's a lawyer.
Yeah.
No, Pablo's gonna help us out. Pablo's a friend.
But Pablo is like but you like have like quarterly meetings with the other farms about perfection stuff, and
Absolutely. We have like meetings every 2 months. We share all the information about markets, about issues, technical stuff. Also, we share a lot of information about pricing in the different markets. We're collaborating all the time. Yeah. Actually, in Plazoleta, we have a showroom, and we bring all the codes from the breeders. We bring the plants from Holland. We test them here. We invite all the marketing teams. They choose their favorites. We invite the technical teams. They choose their favorites. So we select the varieties that we will grow next year. That's the way we keep the standards.
That's fantastic. That's a true cooperative on that, and keeping that as a unity where you're not shoving, all right, this is our new variety for this color, or you're not shoving it down their throat. You guys are picking it together.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Absolutely. And collaborating with the breeder too. So explaining them what's trendy in the market, what's better for the farms. For example, right now it's very trendy in the market, the Alstroemerias with very short stems, the very short pedunculums. You know what I mean?
The
Very
laterals.
common Alstroemeria. The laterals are very, very short. That's
so the flowers are clustered together.
Exactly, a cluster type of Alstroemeria. It's easier for the packaging because you don't lose too many flowers in the process, in the post harvest. They are more compact. They play a better role in the bouquet. That's getting very trendy. So we are working on finding out the right varieties in every color to have a cluster type of Alstroemeria in the 7 colors available.
What about the little mini ones, the mini flower ones? Are they like
You mean the Florincas, the Alstresias?
they're like exclusive to a certain grower, or is that something that is in the future?
No. Actually, just one breeder gave their exclusivity to one grower, and that's like that right now.
Breeders and their exclusivities.
Yeah, but the other breeders came up with their options. Some breeders they call it Alstresia, some breeders they call it Charmelias, some other breeders they call it Florincas.
Do you have
But
those? Do you have any of those
no,
mini?
we tried several times in the group, not only La Plazoleta, but the other farms, and we all failed because the varieties that we tried are very inconsistent. So sometimes you get beautiful flowers, but some other times you don't get anything. And I think that's the real deal in the business. It's not about getting the longest stem. It's about keeping it steady,
consistent quality, so that
all year round. That's what you want.
That gives it a loyal following. That,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that flower, in our case, was going against that goal. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. And you want to keep that consistency. Kudos. When you were talking Snapdragons, let's talk a little bit about the perfection packaging on Snapdragons.
Okay, the snaps by itself, as I told you, they have 85 centimeters, 20 plus centimeters in the spike, very open flowers. We pack them in a hamper box. They come with a beautiful silver sleeve with Presto bunch in the base, attaching the rubber band. So we try to ship them straight. Of course, the airlines sometimes they lay down the boxes, but if you receive it in your store or in your warehouse and you put it back upright, they will recover.
Because those are like phototropic or whatever they call that.
It's geotropism.
Yeah.
Because it's not about the light, it's about the gravity. They go always against the gravity.
Yeah.
So it's not phototropic, it's geotropic.
Geotropic.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
the hamper, the upright hamper versus a flat box also helps for the warm air to escape because air goes up. So when you put them, if you get it from the airlines, it's probably 50 something degrees Fahrenheit, like high 40s, low 50s is the general temperature that we receive those flowers at. There's no need to put them in pre-coolers or anything like that, because if you stand them up, they have enough air holes in the box that allows all the warm air to escape and the cold air to get in there. And then it pretty quickly gets to correct shipping temperatures where we can reship it out safely again. That's why I love upright hampers. The trucking companies don't love upright hampers.
No, they don't. But we love it.
I love upright hampers.
And the airlines neither. Yeah. We always suggest our customers always to ask for 4 boxes or 8 boxes or 16 boxes. You know what I mean? Because that way we deliver it from the farm, strap it around.
You could palletize it
together.
Yeah.
So the airline, they cannot lay down the boxes. They have to keep it like that. And that way we assure that they receive it in the right way.
Yeah. So we sell a lot of Snapdragon here from Canada. We sell Snapdragon that we've been contract growing in Guatemala for about 12 years now, 10 years. I'd say about 12 years. Perfection is the only other snap that we'll ever bring in here because it can compete with the others that we handle. We don't want to give somebody something so great and then give somebody something not so great. So if and when there's some on the offer, I always try to grab a few of those perfections. There hasn't been much lately. What's going on? Where they at?
Stole my question.
Sorry.
I lost you for a second. I don't know what
Mike
happened.
was asking you. He was saying that he hasn't seen a lot of perfection snaps offered recently. What's going on with the Snapdragons? Where are they hiding?
I know that. Snapdragons are a very tricky product in terms of profit, you know. So playing with the snaps in open market is too dangerous for us. So we try to grow only what we have for standing orders. That's what we try to do. You know what I mean? Of course, sometimes we come up with some open market, but we grow what we have sold, you know. So that's why we don't have that much available, but we keep growing more if we see the market is getting it, is taking
Well,
the
definitely
quantity.
after this podcast, your phone's gonna ring. So
No,
are
I
you
gotta
having?
I think
are
I
you
better
having,
put some on standing order before
Yeah,
it's too late.
gotta buy another
Yeah,
land.
we're gonna have to talk before this ends. But are you having production issues with the Snapdragons and the Seed right now?
Actually, the production of a Snapdragon is not that hard. It's not that difficult. The issue with the snaps is the source of the plants, because we don't grow it from seeds. Because if you grow it from seeds, keeping the consistency is kind of difficult. So we bring from Holland the seeds. We give the seeds to a propagator, you know, a company, a third party company that makes the plugs for me. And once they have the plants in the right size, in the right stage, we bring it to the farm and we start a process which takes around 12 weeks. So that way we keep the consistency. So the production is not that difficult, but the sourcing process is a challenge, because sometimes they don't have the germination rate that you need, so you start losing money. They don't have the colors that you need, so you start like growing what the market is not needing. So that's the challenge with the snaps.
Man, that's the other guy's challenge. You're doing a great job. Everything we've seen from you is great. Tell us a little bit about the dry seed technology.
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. Dry seed technology actually is something that we start doing because a customer in the United States was using a vacuum cooling facility here in Colombia, and he required us to use that facility, and we had to pay for it. So we said, like, okay, why we don't bring the facility, our own facility? So we started that process, and we were the first farm in Colombia having a vacuum cooling chamber at the farm level in Colombia.
What does that do, like for the flowers?
It's just like it's a cooling system, but it's not like a regular cooler. It's a chamber, a sealed chamber that you take off all the air from the chamber, so you reduce the the pressure of the air, and in that way you cool the flowers, because all the surface water in the flowers, it gets off the chamber, you know. So you cool the flowers in just 20 minutes, and
It removes the
like
humidity.
reduce, and the same time you get off all the surface water. So that's vacuum cooling. But then we realized that we can dry the products by using the vacuum cooling. That's what we call dry seed technology. Dry seed is dry and cool. You know what I mean? So
Oh, dry sea,
Yeah.
not dry seed.
No, dry C.
Dry seed.
So we use it in two stages. One is when we get the product, the flowers from the field to the post-harvest, we make the first round. That first round, dry the flowers. So we start the packaging, the bunching, all that process. And then when we have the boxes ready, we make another round. So we cool the flowers. So that's that all that process that we call dry seed.
So you do
That
that for everything that goes to your post harvest now.
Exactly. But
Wow.
I gotta say that dry sea or vacuum cooling technology is not good for some type of flowers.
Yeah.
For example, for hydrangeas, it doesn't work. It burns the flowers, the petals. But for our flowers, it works just very good.
So that's the first that I ever hear of anybody doing that just for their post-harvest and packaging. Normally when you talk about vacuum cooling flowers, we're talking about filling a container, right? That's the only time I've ever been in contact with that. So that's impressive.
There used to be vacuum cooling here. The guy from a company called Gelco used to have a huge vacuum cooling chamber where flowers, jet pallets that arrived would go into this big chamber and be vacuum cooled, cooling them down. I'm not a fan of that pre-cooling stuff that people do here in Miami where they put a whole pallet of flowers against the wall and blow air or suck air through the boxes for an hour. I'm not a big fan of that. I try not to ever do that.
Agreed.
If I don't have to. I'm a big fan
Agreed.
of rack cooling, keeping the refrigeration at a very low temperature, but not quite freezing. And that seems to cool my flowers down good enough. But that blowing the air through the versus pre-cooling, blowing air versus, see, it's cool if you're going to pre-cool blowing air and you're going to put them in water right away and you're going to do something with the flowers right away because it's kind of like the shock doesn't last forever. But if you do that pre-cooling incorrectly, like parking a pallet on the pre-cooler and not even checking the temperature that you received it at before you turned it on and just putting it on for an hour and going for lunch. I think that's a common thing that people do here.
That's definitely the standard.
And it's not right. It's not right. It should be the amount of time versus the temperature. Like there's a formula. I don't know what it is, but there is one. But most people just park their pallets on the pre-cooler, turn it on, and then go to lunch and come back and don't even check the temperature out. It's just a process. And that process takes phase life away, I believe, when it's done improperly. When it's done right, I guess it's not a problem, and you put it in water right away. Like bouquet makers and stuff, they like to cool down their boxes, and then the next day they process. That makes sense. But when you are doing it incorrectly and then throwing it on a truck, the flowers still might look great when they get to the customer, but at the end, I just feel like it loses some vase life for the consumer. And
it's too much stress and shock.
Vacuum cooling doesn't put the flowers through that stress.
Plus, the vacuum cooling, it's a lot shorter. It's a lot quicker of a time, right, Pablo? You're not.
Yeah, it takes around 20 minutes.
Okay, so that's less time that the flowers are being stressed out.
Yeah. So most of the pre-coolers here in Miami are big fans that suck air through the boxes. Years ago, it used to push the air through the box, which is even worse. But now they suck it through. But they work on a timer, and the timer is a 60-minute timer. So you just turn it on to 60 minutes and, go to lunch. And then you just, by the time you get back, they'll be cool enough. But they might have been cooled too long. They might have not needed that much time. So that's kind of...
So have you noticed a difference in the quality of the product with the dry sea?
Well, like I said,
absolutely.
We have zero claims on Plazoletta product.
On anything we buy from him, zero claims.
Zero claims.
And the confidence in the sales team, couldn't be higher. They sell those boxes with no issues.
Yeah, Pablo, our salespeople have a way to see what farms are the flowers from. So when they see your code, I think is PLZ, when they see that code and they see those flowers coming, generally your flowers are pre-sold before they land.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Generally.
Glad to hear that.
Look at that smile. That has to be.
Yeah. Well, I smile too because I love an in and out box. That's how we make money.
Not just
we don't warehouse it.
It's an in and out box that is almost bulletproof, right?
Yeah.
It's probably as bulletproof as you can get with a grower. So those are by far our favorite.
No, that I wanted to mention that especially for tricky destinations, because Plazoletta reach countries like Korea, Japan, many countries. The vacuum cooling has become a really important support for keeping the quality of the flowers and for assuring the arrival conditions.
Is there a video or YouTube or something that has your...
I have one on our website, so you're welcome to take a look to this.
Yeah, we're gonna share that.
What's that website address?
It's www.laplazoleta.com.
Boom.
Yes, we have it. It's the third tab right there.
There you go, guys. You got to check it out. Pablo, you've won some awards this year. We know you won last year, 2022 inaugural Young International Grower of the Year award at Green Tech in Amsterdam. But what awards did you win, and for which flowers did you win awards for this year?
What didn't he win? Jeez, it was Plazoletta everywhere in Bogota.
He really also downplayed his inaugural award.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, do that again. We're gonna edit that.
Apologize. Cut that guy. Pablo, so last year you won an amazing award in Amsterdam. You won the inaugural Young International Grower of the Year award at Green Tech. Hello. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Absolutely. That was I joined a master course that was held by Jungle Tax. It's a Dutch company that welcomes people from all over the world to join a 2 weeks course to understand how horticultural industry works in Holland. So they chose people from different countries. Only from Colombia was me. It was me, and they want to release this new award to choosing the Young International Grower of the Year. So they made all this process with a lot of meetings with very important people in Europe to explain as a candidate how you perceive the industry in the future and how you can support the change of the industry as playing your role in your current company. So I got selected as a winner in a big celebration in Amsterdam, and I joined
How many
Were you there?
countries- How many countries were involved in this?
I was there, right? Yeah, I was there. Absolutely. There were people from Africa, from Asia, from all over Europe, from Canada, from United States, from Chile, and from Colombia.
Did you
I
know
was there.
before you went there that you were getting that award?
No, I knew that I was in the 3 final candidates, but the selection was on the stage.
And this is a worldwide. So this was a worldwide search, and you kicked everyone's butt.
Pablo, we're looking at the picture. What's with everyone with the glasses?
It's because
You look really cool.
Is that 'cause you're young?
The rock star.
I like it.
Is a rock star.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So he gave us glasses.
Future's bright.
So
I love
they
that.
announced your name, and you were in the running with 3 other people or 2 other
Yeah,
people.
exactly. And
Oh,
the winner
man. Was it
is
emotional
Pablo
moment?
Bazzani. The winner is Pablo Bazzani, and people from Azokol Flores was in Amsterdam in the reception too. So it was very special. And also that
Emotional, I bet.
in that ceremony, Matina, another rose grower here in Colombia, got a very important prize as a international grower of the year or something like that.
Wow.
Oh, that's a big deal,
and
man. Congratulations.
The judges were from Italy, the Netherlands, Canada. Yeah, cool.
It's a worldwide search.
And they said, Pablo is a young leader in our industry who shows focus and vision to achieve great things. He works hard to develop the potential in others in his company and the wider industry. He is his exceptional knowledge and outstanding ambassador for our industry. Those are huge
Wow.
words.
Damn.
I'll agree. I'll agree.
Thank you, Pablo.
You guys, yeah, it was a pleasure. It was a big milestone for not only for me but also for Plazoletta, of course.
Yeah.
Congratulations. So you were the bell at the ball in Colombia this year. I heard Plazoleta this and Plazoleta that. And tell us a little bit about the awards you won this year.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. We rocket this year in Colombia in Proflora. Proflora took place this year after 4 years off, and we participate with, of course, with our beautiful Alstroemerias, but also with two type of new fillers. One is called Tessa Lavender. It's a type of very clean and light lavender status. And another was the Limonium Crespo, which is a variety that we developed here in Plazoleta. That I gotta show it to you. Is beautiful. So we got the first prize in the fillers. Of course, we got with the Snapdragons with our white line. We got the first place in the line flowers, the line flowers. And in the Alstroemerias, we had some issues with some phytosanitary stuff, some botrytis. So we got the third place, but was not that bad.
Somebody sabotage you.
Yeah.
So the farms at the end were competing against the breeders. So our Tessa Lavender got elected as the best flower within the growers. And a type of Japanese Lysianthum got selected from the breeders. And at the end of the show, the Lysianthus was competing against our Tessa Lavender. And that was very special because a filler flower
Yeah.
got the award over the beautiful Lysianthus.
Yeah. That doesn't
So
happen.
that was-
Yeah. That's
That does
it
not
doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
was
but that
really-
color is gorgeous.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful, look at that.
Is that available for standing order
It's
now?
a very light
Pablo?
lavender.
Yeah.
It is, and it's getting bigger. We, of course, immediately we start growing a new half-hectare extra for this variety.
I apologize. I didn't put in a standing order, but I will now. Sorry, my
Just
bad.
try a couple boxes and you get it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call your sales rep right now to
There we
save
go.
it for you.
Thank you. So last time I met with Pablo here at my office, we were talking about, what's going to be the next thing in the flower business, whatever. And he wound up showing me these pictures of sweet pea that's being grown on one of the Plazoletta farms, but not by him. He got together, I guess. I don't know what it is exactly, but he's like showing me these sweet peas, and I'm saying to myself every day, I said, man, I wish sweet pea was around year round. I wish sweet pea was a year round thing. What a great flower. What a fragrant flower. And it's so boutique. It's like very seasonal, and it's very pricey from Japan or from Holland. It's very expensive. And he's saying, no, man, they're growing them in Colombia. And I'm like, no fucking way. And he's like, yeah, they're growing them in Colombia. And I'm like, no fucking way. And he's like, yeah, they are. I'm like, what do you mean? And he starts showing me all these pictures.
He's your inside guy.
I got so excited. I don't know if I ever got that excited in the past few years about something.
It's the biggest floner he showed us, guys.
It was, I got really excited about it. And then so Pablo introduced me to the guy who was growing it, and Takashi. Pablo introduces us, and then all of a sudden, like, we're in the sweet pea business. I'm like, man, this is great. And we start giving samples to our customers, and it's still a tough sale because people don't believe that sweet peas are available year round. It's gaining traction slowly, but what an amazing project. I don't even know how it began, but I have spoken to Takashi many, many times about it, and it's here to stay now. It's happening. It's a thing. It's really happening, and you're in on the ground floor of that.
So you
Pablo.
guys both know that you guys are moving the industry. So like the Mike also received a huge award this year at SAF, and I think it's like you guys deserve these awards. I'm really proud of the awards that are being given out because these are people who want to better the industry. You're making connections. Mike made some big connections when we were down in Colombia as well. Remember, in Spain with the sweet pea. So this is something that's awesome.
Yeah. Tell us about that whole project, how it came down, and how you're doing with that.
Absolutely. I'm positive that Takeshi is a visionary person. So we met many years ago when I was trying to approach Japanese market with our flowers. He was my main support during that process. So we became very good friends.
Him and his wife are
Uh,
such great people.
Absolutely.
Maria in sales, great
Very
people.
knowledgeable
Yeah.
person. She has been working with logistics and flowers for many, many years. So we became really, really good friends. I knew he was representing some sweet peas farms in Japan for selling their production to Korea, to China, to other countries, like more in Asia. And he asked me, like, don't you think we can grow this stuff in Colombia? I said, I don't know, but if you think it's possible, we can try. Why not? And at the very beginning, I said, like, this is not going to be possible because of the labor. This flower looks very delicate. It needs a lot of labor, and labor is an issue that we have in Colombia. So I said, let's try it, but you need to teach me. He took it very seriously. He said, like, okay, I need your technical team to travel to Japan to know how we make it here. That's the way we have to do it. Because I know there are some sweet pea growers in Italy, in Holland, and other countries, but no one is doing it in the Japanese way. So that's something that we need to include in the process. So I took my team to Japan. I traveled also to Japan to know this process, these farms, and we said, okay, I think we can do it. We can do it maybe better and all year round because we have the right conditions here in Colombia. Temperature is a very big deal for sweet peas. They like the low temperatures. It's a winter flower, type of flower that Japan only can grow it between November until April, I think. Well, in Colombia, we have very steady temperatures all year round, especially here in La Sabana de Bogota. It's always the same, more or less the same. So we start the process. At the beginning, we start getting very short sweet peas. We start figuring out what type of varieties were better for Colombia. And it was a very, very long learning curve. But Takeshi put everything on this project. Put everything. He took people from Japan to Colombia as well to teach us here in the field how to make it, how to treat the process, how to treat the flowers.
This is a movie.
Yes,
This is a movie. This story is a movie. Please, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I had to say that. Please, I'm sorry.
I hope it has a happy end.
I hope our fatties heard that episode
we
with
keep learning all the
Takeshi.
time. We keep learning all the time. So the agreement with Takeshi is that he has a technical team in our farms, Japanese people that is living here in Colombia, working every day with my people. It's a very serious way. He's not just a middleman.
What a tough country to have to go live in.
So he has some Japanese guys living here in the town nearby the farm. They come every day to the farm to teach our people how to make it, how to pack it, how to treat it, how to cool it.
Do they speak Spanish or do you speak Japanese?
They speak English and Spanish, of course Japanese, but they found a way to communicate with our people, you know. And Takeshi is coming to Colombia like 4 or 5 times in a year. He has a very professional staff here in Colombia, and they're doing well. And I hope we are doing it well too.
And
and the production is gonna get bigger, not that much. We don't want to have a lot. You know, it's just an hectare.
You got to keep it special. You can't
mass
it can't
produce
be too
it.
much on the market, and the price suffers because of that. You got to protect the integrity of the price.
Were they responsible for the color enhanced?
Yeah,
that was them.
Yeah, together they're doing it. I mean,
well, because I know he had already had that underway, so I wasn't sure if that was something that he brought up towards the sweet pea line.
No, but I will tell you that I think it's what I call the next big thing that came into the flower industry in many years.
Yeah. And you guys are all those fatties out there, you go and listen to episode 60, which is Growing Japanese Flowers in Colombia. And you can hear all about that episode straight from Takashi and
learn what
yeah.
makes the Japanese way, the focus on quality and not focus on flowers per square meter.
But we have to also talk about their marketing. Talk
Yeah.
about beautiful packaging.
Well-
and I feel like that has a little Pablo's sprinkle there.
Yeah.
A little influence there.
So at Proflora,
That looks like NYU work.
wait before that, Proflora, Sweet Peas won a
An
ribbon
award.
too for the
Oh,
lavender
yeah.
one, which
Yep.
is awesome. And the first go, their first try, they won.
Those go hand in hand with the status.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes,
beautiful
I mean,
arrangement.
those are beautiful, amazing
Yeah.
awards you guys
I've been a
all won
huge
there.
supporter of those guys. I really liked them. We're having dinner with them, our team and their team in the hotel next to Proflora, wherever. I don't know what the name of that hotel was, but coincidentally, David Austin Jr. and his marketing team were having dinner a couple tables away. I was like, man, these people should know each other.
Absolutely.
So I introduced
Yeah.
them to the David Austin guys, and now they're collaborating, which is really cool because I do think like David Austin roses and Sweet Pea that kind of like goes
That
together.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine the bouquet
But
of
Mike
that
was
and how
doing
amazing that'll smell?
that all throughout Colombia, just hooking people, like linking people up, including like the flower moxie with the bijou sweet peas, and also with David Austin. Well, David Austin was the number one that Mike got everybody, and everybody was like, "Thank you,
But,
Mike."
you know, I mean, Mike is always doing it for the good of the industry.
Yeah,
You know, he gets a floner and he gets an idea and he's like,
let's
we're
connect
fucking
it.
running with this.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. But no, but Pablo was showing me those pictures on his phone. I almost died. Right, Pablo? I mean, I was like crazy about it.
Yeah, this guy walked out of the office. We could visibly see his floner.
That was very special. Now I understand why Joya Sud from Alexandra Farms called me next day of that dinner.
Nah.
Asked me about sweet peas. I said, like, I have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But
why.
it's an item that goes hand in hand. It's an item that it's amazing. Now, you know, you can get sweet peas year round, guys.
Yeah, we
Year
need to
round.
figure out a way for florists and event florists to learn how to incorporate sweet peas in their everyday offerings because they do have a decent vase life. They're not like those melt before your eyes old-fashioned sweet peas. The Japanese technology, the way they do
They
it
last
has
longer,
a longer
they're
vase life.
bigger.
And I've tested it, Pablo. I've lost boxes in my cooler for a week and then put them in water, and they still performed, and they still had a vase life. It's not like the old, you know, if I don't use these sweet peas tomorrow and
You're done.
They're done. It's not like that. They actually have developed a vase life, and they look great, and they smell amazing in the fragrance of the sweet pea together with the fragrance of certain roses, like garden roses or whatever. It's just an amazing combination.
And we need more of
And,
that.
yeah.
Everybody puts their face. Any flower, no
Yeah.
matter what you give somebody, if you hand somebody a flower arrangement or a bouquet or something, the first thing they do, they look at it and they smell it.
If you had to pick vase life or fragrance, what would you pick?
I would go fragrance because fragrance is going to be tied in more with memory and you're going to remember that longer.
I would pick using flower food, and then you can just enjoy both.
Ah,
You don't work for Chrysler anymore.
she'll never.
out of Chrysler.
No.
They can't take the Chrysler
Mimi
out of
will
girl.
never stop preaching
Holy
the
shit.
gospel.
It's not even.
of
It's not
flower
even.
food.
Notice I didn't say Chrysler, okay? Because they don't pay
can.
the bills.
You
But
can't.
I
It's in
just.
their blood. We love
Yeah.
those guys. so
I
it's
did
okay.
say. I did say flower food.
You
I'm-
can because this
I'm neutral
episode has
now.
been brought to you by
Arrive Alive.
Light by Chrysler. No, but I really think that like without you realizing it, you and Takashi have brought to our industry the next new big thing without even planning to do that. Because there isn't anything else really new coming into our market that changes the game. And and we could talk about this for another hour if you want to, but I feel like it's just it was
Ryan's shaking his head no, guys.
it's like, but look, it was like for years ago, peonies were only available at a certain time, and it would always
that
get.
really?
Sorry.
No, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know.
Yeah. Peonies were only available at a certain time, and now they're pretty much available all year round, and that brings the confidence of florists and event florists to incorporate them in their when they sell. So it's not like, a bride and their mom would come in for a consultation and say, I'm getting married in, let's say, in January, and I want peonies in my, and they would say, I'm sorry, but that's just not available.
But guess what?
But
It's
now
a
they
new,
are.
It's a new year.
Now they are.
And now we have a new flower that we can order year round.
Yeah.
Which is amazing, and that's
Yeah.
great. I hope, and people need to be gaining.
And I think this is just the beginning
Just the
for
beginning.
what Pablo and Takashi can do.
I agree.
These guys are
More to come.
networkers. They're people who take risk. I mean, I've seen it. So it's awesome that we have young
Yeah.
people that are excited in the industry.
Yeah. I'm excited.
running around with
And you know
flowers.
what is interesting out of this project is that we include the Japanese growers too, because they are giving us their varieties. They own their varieties,
Yeah.
and they are getting some profits out of this Colombian project.
But also it's a sense of pride, right? It's a pride thing because you're proud to have a Japanese flower being represented the way that the Japanese want them to be. So it's a good collaboration, and also for the different growing regions to see partnership, within the growers, and that's something really, really beautiful.
And it's special because the Japanese growers don't just trust anyone.
No,
You gotta qualify, from
Well,
what I
Yeah,
understand.
So it comes full circle because it makes sense that this would be done under something with like Pablo because of how exclusive they are with
the
picking
plaza. those
their
ideologies,
perfections.
those
Right, right.
ideologies,
Like, do it right.
Because the Japanese flowers, I mean, they are solely focused on quality. They're
Quality
not focused
and
on
their
quantity
pride.
at all.
They're very
Yeah.
proud of what they're growing. They're very proud of what they're developing. They don't.
At the point that we had at the beginning of the project, some people from the government of Japan visiting the farm and taking a look about what was going on, because they want to protect that variety. They want to protect their growers. They want to protect their business, and we agree on reducing the production in the winter months. Now we have very low production,
Right.
and we will start picking up when the Japanese production starts dropping.
That's
So we
that's
have
not
to
common in the
That's not
flower
common
industry.
at
No.
all.
To have that, I would guess.
Mutual respect for,
Yeah.
for not hurting and
Yeah.
oversupplying a product, and oversupply will drive price down. It's just inevitable.
All around great job, man.
Yeah,
you should
that
be
is
very proud of
amazing.
yourself. That will not be your last award, for sure.
No. Woo!
For sure.
No.
Great
Okay,
job.
so now that we're talking about global things, can we play a little New Year's game?
Yes.
Pablo, you down? Okay, ready?
Pablo's
ready.
All right, so this week is New Year's, and all around the world, there's different celebrations. So everybody gets one shot. I'm going to start naming some things that happen, and you're going to tell me what country you think it's from.
okay.
All right.
Okay.
In what country was it once a tradition to fire guns to frighten off demons?
America.
Japan.
Mexico?
Ryan?
Is this directed to all of us?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ryan, any guess?
It's not America.
No.
Can you repeat the question,
It is,
please?
in what country was it once a tradition to fire guns to frighten off demons during New Year's? Their festivities for New Year's tradition was,
Middle East for sure. Iran.
Pablo, you're Googling it. You're Googling it.
Pablo's
His arms are folded. Come on.
You want to take a guess before I give you the answer?
No, I'm on Mexico too.
Oh, well, this could also be, this is straight from an article that I read, but it is from Thailand. In Thailand, they often do this to frighten off the demons.
They
so
do
that
it in my neighborhood too.
Okay. In which country is it a tradition to throw plates and glasses against each other's front doors to banish bad spirits?
Greeks.
Greeks.
Yeah.
Greeks.
Greeks?
Yeah.
Opa.
Oh, well,
Yasu.
it is Denmark.
Damn it.
No,
Wah, wah,
Yes.
wah, wah.
Yes.
Oh, the Greeks throw
We're
them
gonna
on the
do all
floor.
these traditions
They throw
this
them on the floor.
next
We're
week.
doing
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna do all
This
these
one I know
things.
Fern will know absolutely.
In what country is a very soft cake made that
It's-
you eat with coffee? Danish. Denmark.
What?
Well, it's funny that you said that because we'll get into the food. But wait, Fern's gonna know this one for show. In which Caribbean country do people symbolically gather all their bad spirits and negative energy and toss them out the front door?
Cuba. Cuba. You throw that shit out the door.
What do you throw? What do you throw at the door?
You clean the house, you sweep, and then you mop the whole house. And then that water that you mop the house with, you take it, you throw it out the front door, and you say, pa carajo.
Wait,
Ashley's never done that. She's never done
Does Ashley?
Ashley's the whitest Cuban I've
Yeah.
ever met.
Does Ashley walk around the block with her luggage?
No.
No, how are you going to
Wait.
travel next year?
Colombia we do.
So I never knew that's a
I remember we do a
tradition.
lot.
That's just
No,
fucking-
that's a tradition.
Pablo, what do
That's
you
a
do?
weekend for
What is
Joel.
your?
that's every
Do you
day.
eat lentejas the next day or?
We put lentejas in our pockets to get money next year.
We do that too.
eat 12 grapes.
The
Yeah.
grapes,
So
yeah.
grapes, lots of tequila
Yeah.
and champagne.
Lots of aguardiente.
Aguardiente, yeah.
Aguardiente. That's,
And we run around the block with the luggage.
With the luggage, yeah.
I've had some amazing, beautiful Colombian women drink me under a table sometimes with that aguardiente.
that
stuff
thing
serious.
is 99% alcohol.
it's powerful.
Okay. All right. And okay, in what community, like what country, do they wear round shapes such as polka dots to promote prosperity and good luck? They also eat round fruits. So every New Year's they have oranges, watermelons, anything, grapes, anything that's round. It's-
Spain?
Spain?
The
Anybody
Irish.
else? No. China. Filipinos.
Ah.
The Filipinos, yeah. I mean, we have some great ones here. Eating round, anything ring shaped, somewhat like a donut. So it
Philippines.
comes
Like
full,
a circle.
like it comes
Because
full
it has
circle.
no
right,
corners.
right.
And it's circle.
No, actually,
I know what you're talking about.
no. That's one of our very famous. I know Michael
That's
knows
from,
this
I know
one.
that movie. That's from when Chuck met Larry.
No, this
Yes.
is a flower country
It
big
has
flower
a
country
circle.
that
Holland
eats.
never ends. No
Yes,
corners.
Joel, that's
it
right.
never ends.
The
Holland
Dutch,
eats rings.
The Dutch eat rings. They call them fritters, oliebollen.
Like
Just-
onion rings?
Like no, anything that's a round. It's like a round donut. It's
Like a
oliebollen.
cheeseburger?
Circle-shaped french fries.
Circle-shaped French fries. So do you guys know why you do the New Year's kiss?
Why?
So you can get laid?
No, you're supposed to kiss the person you want to kiss all year round. That's the whole thing. That's why you kiss that person.
Oh.
So you're supposed to be kissing that person. Oh.
Whoops.
Whoops, my bad.
So for an abundance in the new year, fill your pockets and cupboards. That's like that's an actual thing. That's like an
You
old
can't
time
sell
thing.
from an empty shelf. She.
And I know Mike will like this one. This is an old thing that used to be said is that, and you had to do it every New Year's, is every New Year square with every man. Pay your debts. Start clean.
Damn right. Pay your bills. Paga lo que debe.
There's a lot more. The Russians, they take.
Not too many more because I got to pee.
Okay, well,
Russians
no,
drink vodka.
I like this
For
one.
sure they drink vodka.
I like this one, and we definitely need to date this one. Russians, they thank the New Year. They thank the New Year, and they use 12 seconds before midnight to make a wish. So this, guys, I want you guys to all
cool. I like that one.
take a silent 12 seconds on New Year's and make a wish.
I don't think me and mommy have made it to midnight
What?
New Year's in 10 years.
Okay,
I don't think so.
I'll put an alarm on to call you and wake you
I don't
guys
think
up.
so.
That's funny.
I'll wake you up, Mike. Don't worry. We're going to call
We're
you.
gonna wake
until
you
can't
up.
make it.
Everybody, call Mike at 12.
I can't make it.
All of you fatties, now you know. Wake Mike up.
Start sending your emails.
Oh, my. Oh, my. All right. Are we
But do
we're
you-
wrapping up?
Yeah, we want to give at least one question to Pablo. Pablo, can you answer one question that Ryan's going to ask you? You have to.
Is a hot dog a
No,
sandwich?
we
Oh,
put
that's
that
it.
one-
We're done with it. Oh, hold on. Then can we have, ladies and
Yeah, it's the
gentlemen,
last one.
ladies and gentlemen,
He's technically a New Yorkan, so he's going to say.
this is our last time I get to ask this question. We are saying goodbye.
Good riddance.
I don't accept defeat, but I have gotten my ass kicked. Pablo, in your professional opinion, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, it's not.
Thank you. Damn.
No, it's
Boom.
not.
Mic drop.
The
It's
coffin.
just a totally different thing. I don't know what it is, but it's not a sandwich.
I do not accept defeat, but I respect that I've gotten my ass kicked recently really, really bad.
Yeah.
No,
So
here in Colombia, hot dogs are very different because we put a lot of things in it.
Oh, yeah.
there's nothing
You
better
put
than
those
a
little-
Colombian hot dog
Cheese.
sandwich.
The
Corn.
Cubans put those little potato chips.
Papitas.
I love
they do
it.
They go on top.
Colombian with
Yeah.
salsa
That's
piña,
spicy.
salsa verde, salsa rosada.
Mine's just
Yeah.
ketchup.
Throw
But
on some
Pablo,
huevitos and
I got the best question. Pablo, when's the best time to have a hot dog?
In the summer.
Always, all the time.
Every
Always
day,
no, it should
every
be
time.
after you go out and you're drinking. After drinking, right? That's
Oh,
what you
of
do.
course. That's yeah, absolutely.
On the
Here in
street, you
Colombia,
stop and go get a hot dog.
you get a hot dog.
We have
so
a lot of
you have
street
you
food
have
trucks
energy.
in the street. And
Like Nashville, a hot
My
dog was
hot
like
dog guy in the
$17.
corner, he had knishes too. So I used to get a hot dog and a knish.
Knish.
Yeah.
Well, right now we're gonna have Raising Canes.
So hold on, guys.
What's
Can
the
I
niche?
get a moment of silence? And can we say goodbye to the question of a hot dog is a sandwich? It's a very sad moment
Wah,
for me.
wah, wah.
I need silence. Ready?
I think we should play taps. Yeah, play taps.
That's what we need to
Play
hear.
taps?
right
Play
there.
taps.
Yeah.
Taps.
I got it.
Alright.
That one?
I
All
don't
right,
know,
hot
you're
dog.
good.
The hot dog question. We are now
We're laying that
going to
rest.
shake hands. We will not ask that question anymore.
I agree.
It is over.
Wave the white flag.
We will find a new question
We will
to
find
debate
a new one for, you
2024.
What about is a sandwich a hot dog?
No, no,
No, how about the
The taco.
one?
Yeah, the taco
yeah.
one was
Taco
good.
one.
Hard shell or soft shell taco?
Soft shell.
Oh my gosh, no, hard shell.
Every
Hard
good
shell.
taco spot serves them soft shell,
Yep.
No,
There you
except
go.
for Taco Bell
No, I'm a hard
or
shell
Del
guy.
Taco.
I'm a hard shell guy.
I'm gonna send
The
you.
problem with the hard shell is it falls apart on you. You
I know,
take
it's the
one
best
bite,
part.
and
That's
it's
what I like
perfect.
about it,
And then
though.
after
Too.
that, it's like
You can
know,
get a taco bowl that's made in the hard shell, and you could have pieces of it if you want to.
All right, let's get some questions in for Pablo, and we can go have Raising Canes.
In the bathroom. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pablo,
whoever set
Pablo,
that up
answer
is
these
awesome.
questions really fast, okay?
No, take your time.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's supposed to be fast.
It's rapid fire.
Okay,
As-
rapid fire.
at your best. It's in your opinion. There's no wrong answers. What, in your opinion, at the moment, is your favorite flower?
Alstroemerias.
Perfection.
What is the scariest animal?
The
The
what?
scariest animal.
Rats.
Oh yeah,
That's a good
that's
one.
right.
New Yorker. Have you ever asked someone for an autograph?
That's because rats in
Sorry?
New York are the size of a small dog, and they chase
Steal
you.
your
Oh my
pizza.
God, yeah.
Have you ever asked someone for their autograph?
No, never.
What is the most overrated flower?
Overrated flower. I don't want to hurt anybody, but roses.
There you go. I feel like Alstroemeria was a common answer for the most
Underrated.
underrated
No,
flower.
it's
Well, I know
underrated.
carnation was the most.
Oh, underrated.
No, no,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
no, wait, that's the second question. What's the most underrated flower is the next question.
I would say Alstroemerias.
Alstroemerias.
Yeah,
I
for
know.
sure.
Yeah.
What is your go-to way to relax?
Just go biking,
Like,
road bike.
How many miles do you
Travel.
ride, by the way? What's your
I
what's your
make
what's your normal?
250 kilometers every week.
250 kilometers
That's
in what? 2,000 feet above sea level.
Yeah.
Low oxygen.
Yeah, exactly. With a lot of hills and
All right,
yeah.
That's
don't-
155 miles.
Yeah.
What?
A week, Joel.
Oh,
He does it a week. That's still a lot.
That's
Yeah.
still a lot of fun.
that's not like
Yes.
that's from here to Sarasota.
Yeah.
well, is half
Naples.
of that downhill? Half is uphill?
half
Well,
is
it doesn't matter. It
Doesn't
balances
matter.
out.
Yeah.
Still.
What kind of flowers do you want at your funeral?
I would say maybe sweet peas.
Yeah.
If you were given one superpower, what would it be?
Oh my God.
Shit, stamina. with this,
To talk to flowers, maybe to understand how they get sick and how they do.
wow, that is the best one
said that.
of
flower whisperer?
2023.
the flower whisperer.
The flower whisperer. That's the
That's
best
the
one.
name for this episode. The
Oh,
flower
Whisper.
whisperer.
man.
I like it.
I love it.
Okay. Pick a movie or TV character to have lunch with.
A character or a movie? A character of a movie, right?
Movie, TV, book, any fictional character. Or it could be,
nothing's-
or it could be a. Actually, we've had some historical characters too.
Yeah.
Maybe Obama, maybe?
Sure. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Michelle or Barack.
What's the daughter's name?
I like Michelle, man. I think
Sasha.
Michelle Obama is
Jesse does not
really
like
good.
that shit.
Yeah.
She does a lot of good things, man. I like her.
Yeah.
Pablo, if someone wants to get in contact with you, if they want to talk about all the amazing things or the awards or, you know, getting a degree in marketing and fighting rats at the same time, if they want to get in contact with you, how can they?
You can find us on Instagram as Plazoleta dash flowers, or you can visit our website at laplazoleta.com and you can just write us there and contact us there. I'm always in contact with those channels, so I'll be personally responding.
You can get to the flower whisperer that way. And last but not least, last question for 2023. If there was somebody you would love to suggest to be a guest on our podcast that you would love to hear their story as you were able to share yours.
Wow, maybe it can be maybe Augusto Solano. Flores.
There you
He
go.
has a really good knowledge about the current challenges that we have in the floriculture in terms of everything, you know, social, production, marketing. Yeah.
That's a great suggestion. We're going to get him on. In 2024, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode. The last one for 2023. Thank you so much, fatties, for listening. From the bottom of our hearts, we love you guys. Joelle, Ryan, Mimi, Mike, myself, and our awesome badass guest, Pablo Bazzani. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great New Year's and a prosperous 2024.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank you for everything you do, man.
Thank you so much. Great stories, man.
Thank you guys for having me.